Hey, good morning, everybody. And today, on our installment of A Year of Thinking Magically, we are going to be talking about contraction, expansion, and overcoming the things that try to scare us when we come back. So, welcome, and hopefully, everybody is getting a little bit more into the hang of tuning in at 11 o'clock Eastern Time every day, or if that's not convenient for you, checking in with us at some point throughout the day when you can spend an undistracted 10 or 15 minutes with us. We have already, at this early stage in the game, had some folks who decided that this was not for them. Good morning, Ellen. We've had folks that have decided this is not for them, and so we wish those folks who made that decision very well in their journeys going forward. Hi, Deborah and Angela, and folks, as you're tuning in, please go ahead and say good morning if you're watching for the first time and you didn't get a chance to catch us yesterday. You can always find the earlier videos in the archive. Somebody after Angela said good morning who did not yet follow the steps that are in the group for connecting your Facebook account to this video. And so if you just posted good morning after Angela did, and I haven't acknowledged you, please follow the directions which are in the group itself. The reason that we ask you to do that is because if you ask questions, hi Christy, if you ask questions or make comments, we can't put them on the screen if you haven't followed the instructions. Aaron, good morning, my friend. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I'm going to tell you guys right up front. I suck at being able to multitask and watch the comment screen at the same time that I'm sharing with you guys. So if I miss a comment, I will get back to it after the show. Hi, the person who said it's 3 p.m. here in London, very much enjoying this. You have not followed the instructions for connecting your Facebook profile to this group. So we're not able to engage with you. I'm seeing the comment there. It just says Facebook user. Let me show you why we ask you to follow those instructions. See this person, and I have no idea who it is because they didn't follow the instructions for connecting their Facebook group. If you look in the group, scroll back to yesterday, you'll find some instructions in there, and that will be really helpful. Another person just did the same thing. Michelle, good morning. I am grateful to have the time to be with you too. Again, we have no idea who these people are, and I'm not going to spend any time in any future installments going over that. So guys, please do your part if you would, and read the instructions and follow those instructions. And if you have any problems, by all means, in the instruction note that's there, go ahead and ask those questions, and I'll do what I can to help you. I generally cannot do tech support because I couldn't make this any easier than it already is. You simply click a link, and then you click the blue box that says connect to Facebook, and you're done. So let's go ahead and dive in. I apologize, everybody. I don't want to waste any more time on that element of not following instructions. So today we're talking about contraction and expansion, and hopefully all of you have taken the time to read the reflection, which in this particular case today was a blog post that I wrote sometime last year. And so, as I was writing this, I was thinking about something that Gloria Steinem is said to have written, which actually was probably based, excuse me, on a number of other quotes in the past where people have sort of taken this idea of the truth will set you free and really expanded on it to make it a little more relevant. So Steinem was quoted as saying the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off. And I thought about that when I was deciding what to use for my reflection. And I thought about, in that blog post, I talk about how the caterpillar experiences painful contortions and contraction just prior to the unfolding of its wings as a beautiful new creature, as the butterfly. And so that's the whole reason why we study the seven laws of hermetics in the Kabbalion. It's why we know that if we're going to live a magical life, we're going to need to start with some serious alchemy and transformation, because for most of us, where we're starting right at this moment isn't where we want to be a month from now, or 2 years from now, or 5 years from now. But life isn't always like the the magical fantasy shows that we watch on the CW. Sometimes our greatest power might be patience. Sometimes our greatest power might be getting the kids to school on time. But here's what I know about life: nothing changes until you're willing to become uncomfortable. Not resigned to being uncomfortable, but actually willing to go there. When you embrace that uncomfortable feeling. See, every year students come to me and ask me to show them the path to unleashing the magic within them. And by day 5, there's always going to be a few people who start whining about, when are we going to get to the good stuff? This is all pretty basic. This isn't what I thought I was signing up for. Well, what if you were the one who's in control of when the good stuff comes around? What if all you had to do was make a simple decision today to go beyond your comfort zone to the place where your fears live? What if you had to climb over the walls that enclose the things that you've told yourself were true and venture out into the craggy underbrush and walk along a path of your own making? What if that's where the magic is? Are you willing to get uncomfortable? So that's our mind shift for today. So it'll sound simple, but I want you to introduce yourself to people or circumstances or ideas that make you uncomfortable today. Do whatever it takes, whatever it is that you've been avoiding because you were uncertain of what would happen. You see, we know that when we are experiencing fear or that discomfort, that it usually means we're not living in the present moment. It usually means if we're filled with apprehension, we're worrying about a future that hasn't even occurred yet. We're creating a construct of what we imagine the future is going to be like. If we're feeling depressed or we're feeling anxiety and just a deep sense of sadness, then we're living in the past. And not the real past, but the past we perceive as having happened. So today, do whatever it is that you've been avoiding because you were uncertain of what would happen, and don't just do it. Live every second of it. Notice where you begin to hold the tension as that fear starts to rise. Pay attention to your breathing. Are you starting to get short of breath? Are you starting to have palpitations? Notice your heart rate. And then return to the present moment. Just take a deep breath and excuse me, in your mind, step back for a second and remind yourself that in this moment, you're about to unfurl your wings. You just have to get a little more uncomfortable. You see, I'm pretty sure that caterpillar that's in the cocoon gets pretty friggin' uncomfortable. But they know that they've just got to go through and push through that discomfort. I remember several years ago being on stage with Ani Pema Chodron, and she was talking about that fear is a part of our experience of life, and pain is a part of our experience of life. But suffering only happens when we try to avoid the fear, when we try to avoid the pain. But when we move through it, that's where the growth occurs. So you just have to get a little bit more uncomfortable. You have to get back in there and notice the tension has relaxed a little bit. See, if you're feeling tension, you're feeling anxiety, and you take a step back, you take a deep breath and mindfully come back to the moment. When you go back to what you were doing, you'll find that the tension has relaxed a bit. You'll find the fear has diffused. You're going to be okay. And as you allow your chest to expand and to breathe more deeply now, because you know you're okay, notice that the old cocoon that was once the armor of your fears has begun to crumble. It's begun to fall away, to peel and fall off. See, things are going to get a little more uncomfortable for those who really apply themselves over the next year. And unlike the butterfly, you don't just get to transform once. What's really amazing about this journey is that your life can be a series of extraordinary moments until you emerge as a breathtaking phoenix. But today, we're going to strengthen those muscles that you're going to need to become that phoenix by letting ourselves just do one thing that fear has kept us from doing until now. So if you're on board with this, if this sounds like a challenge that you can really dig into, go ahead and put "I'm down" in the comments, and know that every single one of us in this group are pulling for you. Everyone in this group is going, including me, is going to have to go through something that makes us uncomfortable. Every single one of us in this group is going to have to get a little fearful, a little tense, a little angst, but we're going to get through it. So that is our assignment for today. And please, by all means, those who are really excited about really igniting the magic within their lives, don't let yourself get sidetracked into thinking that this is something that's too petty for you to do, that you're bigger than this. Christy, right on. And Steph, right on. Ellen, right on. I'm so glad to see some of you that are tuning in live. Angela, right on. Some of you that are tuning in live that are seeing this, that are saying, hey, you know what? I want to ignite that magic in my life. I know that all I have to do is let myself get a little uncomfortable, and we have to all start somewhere. So this is the best place to start. I'm going to do something that makes me a little bit uncomfortable today. Deborah, we're with you. We're behind you. And I'm going to do something that makes me a little uncomfortable today. I'm going to push those boundaries because just like each and every one of you, I'm in that process of allowing those wings to unfurl. And it might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but all of these things are going to build on one another. Good morning, Denise. So guys, that's it for today. I think I've kept you guys to about 13 minutes. Be sure to comment in today's post tomorrow and let us know how the process went for you. What challenges did you experience? Did you remember to come back to the moment? And once you did that, once you came back to that moment, recognizing that right here and right now you're okay, when you went back to doing that thing that makes you uncomfortable, was it a little less uncomfortable? Was the fear diffused? Did that tension in your shoulders or your neck or your lower back seem to soften a little bit? Remember that and bring that strategy with you into the coming days, the coming weeks, and the coming year. And as we say at the end of every one of our broadcasts, I encourage you to frequently come back to the moment because that's where the power is. Fill that moment with gratitude, because if we can't be grateful for what we've got, there's absolutely no reason to think that we're going to be any happier with more. And always remember, the best is yet to come. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.